What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Now, I saw a video. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched enough to get the gist of what was going on. Now, Fanon was doing a live stream with a guy, I think his name was Drew. His channel may be Blood Sports TV or Blood Sports something. I'm not familiar with his channel. First time I heard of the guy, he was talking on Fanon's channel. Now, he said some things in regards to Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Now, Fanon said something that I've been saying for the longest, okay, which is all of these allegations that's made against Fury are all over the place. And it just sounds like a bunch of angry children that's not getting their way, and they just keep video after video after video after video trying to say more evidence, more evidence, more evidence. I've even seen someone go so far to say Tyson Fury is facing a year's suspension. I've seen something photographed as saying that Fury is facing a life ban. Like as if this is just, I even saw someone going so far to say that Floyd Mayweather even said that Fury cheated, and Floyd never said shit. What happened was Floyd was talking about the lack of padding in the gloves. Floyd never said nothing, so another clickbait situation. Now, without substantial evidence to say this is what happened, stick to it, and pull up facts. You can't go in the court of law with that. Without that, you go in the court of law saying, well, I think, well, it seems like, well, if you look, or it doesn't work that way. And what may seem like common sense to you, no, it doesn't work like that in the court of law. Okay, I've sat in court and watched a judge tell someone, Mr. So-and-so, I sympathize with you. If I was in your situation, I would have did exactly what you did. But unfortunately, the right thing to do is not necessarily the lawful thing to do. Now, here's what I'm saying. Okay, like I said before, they're not going to do an investigation because boxing channels think they should. And people feel like, no, they should do it because it's the right thing to do, right? Well, obviously, if they don't feel the same way you do, then what's the investigation about? Now, the guy, Drew, the guy that was getting interviewed, that was doing, well, not interview, but the live stream with Fanon, he said something that made me go, He said, okay, he explained that all the dent in the head, all this stuff, the pattern in the glove, the metal object in the glove, and all these things. Then he said that Blue Blood has been in touch with Wilder. He has talked to Wilder. And he said, Deontay Wilder, what he's doing is he's going to wait until after the third fight. And after the third fight, all of the evidence is going to come out. Because right now, we have all the evidence that we need. Now, I know there was a guy who, Blue Blood, I forget his name. I think it's Tate something. I forget his name. But he's a part of Wilder's camp. And he said that Mauricio Sulaiman lied. He was never in dressing rooms. Like I said, man, listen. Not Fury, not Mauricio Sulaiman, not anybody. Do I put it past these people being cheaters? You don't never know. You have people that I can say they don't come across that way, but you just never know. So, like I said, again, it's not about defending Fury. It's just about the fact that I'm saying the shit that people are saying is just not adding up. So even if Mauricio Sulaiman did lie, and I'm not putting it past him that he did lie, okay? Again, why is everybody speaking except for Wilder? So it makes no sense. That's a contradiction. If Wilder is waiting for all of this to come out once the fight is over, then he's going to come out after the third fight with this stuff, right? Then why are they saying this stuff? Like, why are they giving little bits and pieces of hearsay? He said, she said. Well, we was told, or someone said, right? Think about this. If Wilder gets his ass kicked again, and then comes out with all this evidence, or so-called evidence, then you know how bad it's going to make him look. Like, okay, all of these things that you had boiled inside or built up and you was just waiting for the right time, why would you not come forward? Well, I wanted to wait till after the fight. Now, if he wins and kicks Fury's ass or whatever, if he just happens to win and then he wants to come out, it's still like, okay, but you waited. All right. Well, anyway, I don't know what's actually going to change. Because the only thing that could change anything is confessions of people saying, yeah, I did this, I did that. But how does that happen and JD's not be a part of it? Because he sat there in the room and didn't he say, okay, these gloves are good. Yeah, you guys can wear these. These are fine. So the guy also said Wilder fired a snake in his camp. Who was that? Because you see what I'm saying? There's always an inconsistency. They will make a claim of something, but then say something that, who did he fire? Is it something I missed? Because I didn't hear that Wilder fired anyone. Only thing that I heard was that he was going to fire Mark Breland. And then followed that up by saying that, well, Mark Breland's not getting fired. So who was fired from his camp? And you see, the fact that Wilder's been keeping silent, but this guy says that Blue Blood told him that he's been in touch with Wilder. He's been talking to Wilder, and that Wilder told him he is going to wait. That he's so is Wilder confirming these things? Well, if he's going to come out and say, well, this is what I think happened, or I have proof of, or this and that. Look, the fact that he's not saying this shit now, right, would only make sense if the simple fact is I don't want to put this third fight in jeopardy. Because let me tell you, Mauricio Suleiman is already saying that Fury could fight Dillian White before Wilder. Okay, that they could fight in August. But they would need Wilder to cooperate. Like he wants that, you know, well, not August. We were just saying that they could fight in August, but that they would fight before them. And the fact that they already are saying that Wilder and Fury is going to be set for November. If Wilder's arm is healed up and he's good to go, the only thing I can think of that they're saying November is because I don't think they want that fight to be an empty arena fight. I think they want this to be in front of a big crowd, but there's no guarantee that by then it will be a big crowd either. Now, at the end of the day, I think that was information that, see, this is my thing. Nothing feels solid because it's always one thing, then it's something else. Because if Wilder is going to even tell Blue Blood this off camera, if he did it off camera. There was no live stream any interview with Blue Blood and Wilder. So if he said this, then this guy shouldn't even be repeating what Wilder supposedly told Blue Blood. Maybe that's why Marcellus put that tweet up and then immediately took it down. So even in that case, why would this guy repeat what he was saying? If that's the case, then Wilder don't want anybody to know and Wilder want to keep hush about it. Okay, then let Wilder follow out of his plan. But again, if this shit backfires and Wilder gets his ass kicked again, you know what his fans are going to say? Wilder's not the same because of the damage that he sustained in that second fight due to illegal blows, illegal objects, and all of this other shit. And it's like, what you guys are saying, as far as having substantial evidence, is just claims and still shots. And I don't know how a doctor could tell you anything. I've never in my life called a doctor and said, I need to come and see you. I need to come in, man. I'm not feeling well. And tell you what I'm feeling, and you just automatically know what it is. I mean, but to say he hit him with a metal object, and this doctor never comes forward and speaks and says anything. It's like, okay, we hear the claims, but no proof. So I thought that was interesting because Wilder hasn't said anything publicly. So if he spoke to Blue Blood or any of these other channels off camera, then nobody should be saying Wilder said this or he told this person this. And this make these guys look desperate to me. And to be honest with you, it just looked like they're just trying to get as much information as they can. And they're getting all of this money to their Patreons. And, you know, as they're talking, you know, that's how it works. For Nas channel, I just kept seeing donation. And it's like, yeah. It's like everybody's just milking this conversation to the point where it's one thing if you can prove a point. Okay? It's one thing. I have a bottle of water right here. You don't know what's in it, but this is what it is. This can be tested and checked out. We know for a fact, yes, it was just water. Okay? These things can be proved. So all of these other allegations, right, that was brought up, when you go into a courtroom, if this thing was to actually go to court, and all of this extra nonsense, understand though, and this is what I think people need to understand, this is not all coming from Wilder. But, because this strictly came from these channels, these boxing channels, but whatever Wilder is going with, or supposedly going with, we don't even know if this is even true. Because even in Blue Blood's conversations, and on him doing his videos, I've never once heard Blue Blood say, oh yeah, I spoke to Wilder. Wilder said. So I don't think that if Blue Blood did say that to this guy, that he should be even repeating what Blue Blood told him. Because if the plan is, everybody keep silent, don't worry about it. Marcellus, chill, everybody relax. After I knock this guy out in the third fight, I'm going to bring all of this out. And we're going to get this guy out of boxing, which is exactly what the guy said. So if Wilder said that, well, you better make sure you win that fight. Because if not, it's going to blow up in your face. I don't even see you guys winning this case anyway. Because like I said, all these accusations is all over the place, man. And even the one guy that said Anthony Joshua knew because the guy that Anthony Joshua manages, I'm pretty sure he told, AJ. Now, nothing he said was, I know for a fact because I was there, I spoke with, no. And after he said that, Blue Blood goes, see, there you have it. Anthony Joshua knew. How the fuck do you know that? Because this guy is saying Anthony Joshua knew. That's just like, I have a brother, I got kids, I got a family in my house. Somebody tell me something and assume that everybody else knows because they told me. What? You can't guarantee. You know how much stuff happens? Sometimes I see people that I grew up, from people from back in the day, and I may never say, oh, guess who I saw today? Because it's not important. It's not important. And don't say, oh, but that's different. This is about, no. What happened between Wilder and Fury had absolutely nothing to do with AJ. Had absolutely nothing to do. This guy assuming, I know for a fact AJ knows because that's a guy that he manages and he knows about the dirty tactics and like, okay, whatever, man. But what does that prove? What does that solve with what happened with Wilder and Fury? Because you put AJ's name, bring AJ's name up. So all of these things, you got to have facts right to the point. This is what happened. This is what we believe and why we believe it. But all of these constant accusations is like, come on, man. Like, really, you guys are just all over the place. And I don't see how, for that fight to be the way what it was, and for everything that we keep hearing, every day it's something new, something new. Every day that I think I'm done talking about this shit, it's like something else pops up. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say on this video. I will catch y'all on the next one.